I'm going to go off now and consume a few of these bad boys, and hopefully will get me in the right mood for Drunk Middle Earth Thor, Episode 3, The Blue Mountains. Stand by. Oh, whew, that hell strong stuff. All right. The beacon. Oh, no. All right, hang on. Let me duck my head in a barrel. We're ready. We're ready. We're going to do it. Hang on. Where the devil? Grime up. Son of a. All right, listen. You guys, okay, so this is gonna be great. I just gotta rally, push through, be strong for Balin. So, all right, so I guess I'll do a countdown. All right. Oh, and then I got that song. That's right. I'm gonna sing my song instead of the Middle Earth lore intro. I'm gonna do my song. All right. So, jeez, hang on. Okay, here goes. All right, so you got the video ready, and we could play, and wait, 2, 1, go. Ready? Dwarves, yeah. Good gosh, y'all. What are they good for? Kicking butt and taking names. Say it again. Dwarves. In Middle Earth lore, what are they good for? Digging holes and drinking games. This is the story of the only race in Middle Earth that really matters. Chapter V. Finally someplace cool after talking about rat holes and head shacks. So when the world was young, before the first sunshine and moonlight, before the elves came along and ruined everything, with their Silmarils and Melian girdles, there was a mountain range in Eriador called the Blue Mountains. Now, all elves called it Arid Looney Tunes because they're elves. They didn't know any better. But the mountains were blue. Obvious stuff here. Let's not overcomplicate it. And why are we showing elves stuff at the beginning of this? It's about dwarves. It's like having a big table filled with barbecue, putting a kale and quinoa salad right in the middle of it. Me, I'm trying to eat over here. So dwarves listed and lived in the mountains because stone and jewels and stuff, nice views. And take a look at this house. Hello. It's called craftsmanship. Something a man or hobbit would know anything about. So craftsmanship, this God-given ability didn't come from Iluvatar, but from the more competent but less politically connected god Aiul. Now, people say the dwarves didn't read much, but look, there was a guy reading. Dwarves really like Batman comics because of the cave thing. So, Aiul made the dwarves awesome in his own image, and he figured better to burn out than fade away like some races, kind of like the last guy at a party that never leaves. So when you rally really tired and all the Doritos are gone. But Iluvatar was jealous of how awesome the dwarves were, especially at fishing. So in a fit of jealous rage, he made them all go to sleep so elves could get a head start on ruining everything. Rise and shine, elves. Time to get busy singing to trees and knitting doilies and stuff. But then after a few thousand years of that nonsense, even the gods got bored and said, hey, what about that whole dwarf thing that you started? That was pretty cool. Do that again. So who woke up during Father of the Dwarves, and there were different clans like Longbeards and Ironbeards and Firebeards and Clambeards. And then there was the most epic beard of all. Look at that. It's so cool that he weaved it into a coat. I think that was Thror or Thrain or Fruin. I don't know. And then what's important is when the dwarves go to war, they yell, Baruch Kazad! I Kazad menu, which means I'm going to jam this axe so far up your rump you can pick your teeth with it. So the dwarves built great cities in the west. That one looks like Zigglegund in Forakel. Right there. Watch out for the fog bug. And the dwarves worked hard at making all these cool places, kind of like Doozers from Fraggle Rock. Some of you guys remember that, right? But the Valar destroyed Beleriand and all the great dwarven cities, probably because of something the elves did. And because of that, everyone has to do the drowned treasury instance like twice, which takes forever. Ugh, look at that place. So the dwarves went east to Khazad-dûm. Khazad meaning dwarves, and Doom or Dulm meaning, let's just call it Moria. So they're in the heart of fire. They made many beautiful things with precious metals and gems. Indeed, they were often called the masters of tchotchkes. And although they normally delved quite responsibly and with appropriate safety protocols, deep down in the sub-basement, they found a rather troublesome household pest that had clearly been missed by the Hobbit home inspectors when they purchased the property. So anyway, as Eddie Murphy once said, "Too bad we can't stay." Moving on, everyone, please walk along in an orderly fashion to the exits. So there's Balrogs in Moria and dragons in Erebor. You can see how the dwarves were getting a raw deal. I mean, come on. But luckily, they still had some family back in the Blue Mountains, and the more the merrier, as the dwarves always say. And, dwarves don't normally walk like that, but it was a long trip. And that's a secret rep room from Thorin's Hall, isn't it? Good use of that space. So, anyway, at the end of the Third Age, as the men started getting all cocky about how tall they were, how great they were at sports like basketball, the dwarves decided to move on. They diminished and went east to be as far from the elves as possible. And the secret writing above that door said, "Hey, elves, thanks for deserting us in our time of need. Twice. Go suck an egg." Speaking of which, the next episode is apparently supposed to be about Suckendell, or maybe it's Rivendork. I'm not doing an episode about Suckendell. You can forget it. But this was a good episode. I mean, it could have been a little more epic, but it's hard to capture the inner awesomeness of dwarves with these kind of meaty constraints. And, it's not like your viewers or something. Hey, did I just see a dwarf named Dr. Pepper? Oh, that's not lore breaking. Oh, and look, some elf names. Belindil, Celebnil, Linseed Oil, Dwinfail, Mustard Drain, Millimeter, and Coraline. This is typical elf names. So this is good outro music, though. A little elfy, but there's some good dwarvish in there and the bass lines and stuff. Anyway, that's the end of Middle-earth War, episode 3. The best episode yet, and at least until 5, clearly. But now we're at the 7th beacon of Halifarian. Time for closing. It's time for blessed Pepto-Bismol. That brings us to the end of the most recent episode of Light the Beacons. I would love to hear you singing my new dwarf song. So you can contact me or face Twitter me or whatever. Oh, and I have my own website, which is cool. lightthebeacons.com. It's kind of plain, but it smells like bacon. So there's that.